What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell is Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuits. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff.
Philip Caduceus. There you go, baby.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to KHR with Christopher James. I am Christopher James, and I'm happy to be here with you tonight. It is Tuesday. That's right, man. It's Tuesday, and it's the 1st of December. It means we got like 24 freaking days till Christmas. I don't even know how many days till Hanukkah starts, and you know what? That's all right. So we're going to have us a good time tonight, man. We've got all kinds of crazy stuff, a couple of news tidbits. Clarissa Shields signed with PFL. Holy shit. So, I thought she was going to sign with UFC. She's going to get her boxing with Dana White under Zuffa. And then she was going to join the MMA with the UFC. But she went another route. So it looks like we'll probably see Clarissa Shields sometime in 2021 take on Kayla Harrison in the PFL. That should be definitely interesting. Also breaking today, I can't even say it right now. Leon Edwards and Shemaev, they were supposed to fight on the 19th. Edwards ended up contracting COVID, so he will not be fighting on the 19th. They will be rebooking this fight to take place sometime in January. Don't know which date yet, but, one of these dates are coming up in January, and we're going to have a whole bunch of fun. But right now, I got to talk to the guy who just won a fight in the UFC. Known this guy for a long time. He fought with us at the XFC. He's been some other places as well. He's got 3 babies. He's got 3 kids, a set of twins, which has got to be fucking nuts, although he's a big heavyweight, so maybe he can handle having 2 twin boys. And then he's got a third one, a little baby that's probably running the whole world for him right now. Even though he's got the twins, this little one probably does more damage to this man's day because this baby is in charge of the world right now. But all 3 of those kids can say one thing. Their dad's a winning fighter in the UFC, and that is fucking awesome. Here he is right now. I think he might cry right now. I see him in the green room. I'm saying all this nice stuff about his kid. He's tearing up like a big old wussy boy. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show. A friend of mine for a long time, like I said, UFC heavyweight on a 1-fight winning streak in the octagon. Here he is, Mr. Parker Porter. Parker, what's up? What's up, baby?
Not much, man. Just, kind of soaking it all in still.
Yeah, you saw that stuff with your kid. You heard me saying all that stuff with your kids, your boy. I saw your eyes going, ooh.
Yeah, no, I'm just tired.
Yeah, nice try. Nice try, brother. Nice try. It's all right to be emotional about your kids, man. You're supposed to. Yeah. So, first of all, before we get into the kids and the fight and everything and all the, the lead up to getting you to the octagon, because, we talked once before about it, but I want to dig into it a little deeper tonight. But, just how elated were you to win that fight? You and Josh Parisian, 2 fucking super cool guys. I was sad that you guys had to fight each other, but that's the way this game works. He's a good guy. You're a good guy. I'm a good guy. I'm not going to beat either of you up, though. I'm going to leave you guys to each other. But so you go in there. You guys put on a show. I think like an incredible amount of strikes landed between you. But forget all that too. Just how the fudge, see, I didn't say the real word this time. How the fudge are you feeling right now, Parker Porter, a winning fighter in the UFC? Because it's been a long time coming.
I can't even describe it, man. It's like you said, it's been a long time coming. It's been almost 15 years coming. So, I'm relieved
crazy
in the sense that like I finally got here. I finally put on the show that I put on and got my first W, and now I'm also a little like, okay, let's get to work. Like now the real work starts.
Yeah, and doesn't that suck, man?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like,
man, everybody is under this this kind of misconception that like you gotta bust your ass and bust your ass and bust your ass just to get to the top, but nobody realizes how much harder you gotta work to stay there. Never mind the climb once you get there. The climb gets harder and harder the higher you get.
Yeah, and that's the part that sucks. It's like, man, For a guy like you, I mean, we met back, in I don't even know, 2010 or 9 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So you started this journey a long time ago, and you've been busting your ass, busting your ass, busting your ass. You took some time off. You got some stuff organized in your life. And now you're finally in the UFC. You get that first win, and it's like, fuck, man, now I got to do this shit fucking even more.
But I'm even more excited to do it now, though. I'm so, not that I wasn't motivated before. Obviously, you got to stay motivated if you're going to be chasing a dream as long as I have. But I'm so already. I'm already looking at like, all right, we got to improve this. We got to work on that. Like, I'm already talking to my coaches about what the training schedule is going to be. We're going back to work tomorrow. Like, I was like, all right, I took 2 days off. We just got home Monday morning from Vegas because we had a really late flight out on Sunday. And, I basically came home, hugged my kids, ate some junky celebration food. We had some Chinese food for dinner. I just ate like crap because I've been on such a regiment. And then I woke up this morning and I was like, so when do I get to go to the gym?
It's such an insane process for you guys that, you go through this and, like I said, you bust your ass, you miss meals, you miss family things, you miss everything.
Yeah.
Just to get
Thanksgiving in Las Vegas this year.
Well, I mean, that's not a bad thing, sometimes, if you're out there having a good time, but
I'm at least out there with my corners and my coaches. So,
Yeah. And that's always a good thing. I mean, that's not a bad thing. I mean, it'd be cool if you could be out there, with, the wife and, the kids and, all that stuff. Somebody said, hi there, champ, Lex McMahon. I think Titan FC, CEO or President Lex McMahon is watching the show. If he is, shout out to Lex McMahon from us here at K-Star Christopher James. The only promoter I know that had they always say promoters are crazy. This guy's fucking insane. 49 years old. He went to train for a fight. He went down to the Dominican Republic. He made his MMA debut. He won. Oh my God. Lex, you are the fucking man. And all the money he made and everything for that event, he donated to charity.
That's awesome.
That dude's fucking aces. I mean, I just want to say, Lex, if you're watching, man, I'm going to get you on the show here soon to talk about your fight, but I'm sure there's so many others that wanted you. I'm going to wait till the hubbub dies down a little bit, and we'll get you on here because I just got to hear the story from you in your own words. But congratulations on that win. Guys, you're watching K-Star with Christopher James. We are live tonight from the K-Star with Christopher James studios. I got to change, I got to fucking, God damn it. I hate when I make mistakes and boo-boos. Let's make this a little more comfortable for Parker. We're back at the Apex now. I was in the bare knuckle fighting. I just transported myself to the Apex. There's your home, brother. There's your home. So, man. So this show tonight is being brought to you by Just Heart Apparel, Just Heart Apparel East Coast. My friend Andrew Sams, an amateur fighter, by the way, who's going to be fighting it December 11th up in Atlanta. So that's kind of cool. All right, so tell us how this matchup with actually before we get to the matchup, as I alluded to a few minutes ago, you've been doing this a long freaking time. Yeah. Was there any point for you where you said? And I mean recent. I don't mean like 5 years ago or 6 years ago when you took the time. But was there ever a point in your brain where you felt that maybe the UFC dream wasn't in the cards for Parker Porter?
Yeah, as soon as the COVID pandemic started, back in like April, March, I was like, maybe this isn't going to happen because I was on a win streak, and I thought my original path was going to be, maybe have to, win another fight, get a local title with CES, and then get my shot on like the Dana White Contender Series. And then the pandemic happened and shut everything down and really put a halt to life as we know it for a pretty lengthy period of time. It's still not fully recovered.
Still not recovered.
Yeah. And the last thing on my mind was that as a 35-year-old, that the UFC was going to call me in the middle of the pandemic and be like, hey, you want to take this short notice fight for, and we'll give you a couple of shots and see how you can do. Yeah.
I mean, fuck it.
Yeah.
Hey, who am I fighting? Oh, you're fighting John Jones. Oh, well, I already did that, so fuck it, right? Hey, and for you guys that don't know, I bring that up because, John Jones on his way up in his career. Parker Porter fought Jones when Jones was like 3-0, I want to think, or 4-0 or something like that.
Like 4 or 5-0 or something like that. Yeah, for the WFL.
And he beat my boy Parker. And I only have one, I love John Jones. John Jones is a phenomenal fighter. I don't care about all the other stuff that people harp on him on. At the end of the day, USADA cleared him. They said they had no evidence to really, suspend him for any kind of doping, only for administrative stuff, like not disclosing, certain stuff in pills, but whatever. But the only thing I don't like John Jones for is for beating up my friend Parker Porter. That's it. That's it. And I can get over that. Parker got over it, so I can get over that too. I think
John got over it too. He gave me a shout out on Twitter.
He did. I remember that. That's awesome. It's what's the cool thing about that is that he remembers.
Yeah, I didn't think I was that really stuck out that much for him, but I guess I did. So it feels good.
Yeah, when he's sitting there and I remember, the first fight he had said something on Twitter about you. I was like, that's fucking dope. We talked about this last time. I was like, that's fucking crazy dope, man. Like John Jones, all right, yeah, I know I lost to him, but here's the guy who's known as the greatest of all time. And, I fought him on his way up, and he remembered me enough to shout me out when I made it to where he is, in the UFC. And that's cool, man. That's just cool. Like, I can't get a fucking tweet back from this motherfucker, and I always have his back, dude. I fucking defend him all the time, and sometimes I hit him, I'll just beg for it, go, hey, yo, can I get a retweet, John? Nothing. Crickets.
Pretty please.
That's cool, though. One day he's going to need me to retweet something or, back him up, and I'm going to be like, all right, man, nah. Just turn my head like nah, you're on your own, JJ. All right, so you say the pandemic was the only time in your life that you felt the UFC thing wasn't going to happen? I mean, there was no other time before that where you're like, you know what, man, I'm a dad now. I got a couple of kids.
I mean, there were definitely doubts before. It's like, well, maybe this is going to be too much. Maybe I can't. But it was never like crap, this really isn't going to happen. I'm just like I ran out of time. I've reached my limit. It was really more or less just well, maybe I can, but I got to make sure I take care of this first. I've got time to get back into it and get back after it.
That's awesome, dude. I like, I'm glad that your clock didn't run out.
Yeah. You and me both.
No, well, I know. Of course you are. I mean, but it's really, there's guys I've met along the way that do this, and they talk about getting to the UFC, and they don't ever get there, and it's never their fault. They get pissed off at the world. Oh, well, they should have signed me. Blah blah blah. Well, you know what? They didn't, and I don't feel like bad for those people. I mean, I guess I do. I feel bad for them that they didn't get there because that was a dream they wanted. But I don't feel bad that they didn't get there because they didn't belong there.
Gotcha.
There's fighters out there that don't belong. And even though they put in the grind, I know a couple of guys, I'm not going to mention their names, that have been doing this longer than you. And they never got their shot. And that just sucks for them. And I feel their pain for that, but they would have gotten destroyed had they gotten there. And then there's a couple of guys I know that haven't gotten there, and they bitch. Fuck Dana White. Fuck the UFC. Fuck their matchmakers. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Yes, they do.
Yeah, I mean, they're like the gold
So-
standard of MMA. So
Yeah, but there's a few people like I feel like I'm glad they got a shot. I'm glad that the dream wasn't lost on all those years of effort, and you're one of them. My next guest I'll be coming on after, another XFC guy, Chris Barnett.
Yep.
He's probably the best heavyweight right now that's not in the UFC, in my opinion. Out there, there's some guys out there that might even be a little better, more Francis Ngannou type, where they just come with this big crazy power, but not much else. Chris is different. Chris has all of it. Plus, he's entertaining. He can dance. He can smile. The people love him. He's short and thick. And he's for lack of a better term, he's the fat guy everybody in the world would root for.
he's got that big personality. Yeah.
He his personality is the only thing bigger than him when he steps on the scale.
Right.
You know, and it's crazy to even think that he hasn't gotten the call yet, but he hasn't. He's got a big fight coming up against Bigfoot Silva over in France, which is kind of cool because they just legalized MMA over there, so he's going to be part of their history. I think it's the second or third show.
No kidding. Good for him.
Yeah, that's fucking great, dude. He's fought all over the world, man. You know what I mean? He's except in the octagon. We're going to ask him about that later on. You're sitting here, so, you know, all the doubts creeped in. They crept out. You got there. How did this fight come together with you and Josh? And are you happy that you got to fight a guy who's kind of on the same level of journey you've been on? You know, he's been doing this a long time as well.
Yeah.
You know, he's not like, 22-0 coming in, and, he's got some losses on the record. He took a hard path with 2 trips to the Contender Series, a trip to the Ultimate Fighter. So he's had his moments where he should have gotten there, and he didn't. He finally got there. You and him both, same kind of journey. It took you a little longer than the average guy to get there, but you're there. Was it cool for you that you were fighting somebody like him instead of fighting, a seasoned veteran of the octagon, not of fighting, just of the octagon that's been there, had like 8 or 9 UFC fights under your belt already? Because, I know you're not afraid of anybody. I don't think any fighter I know is. I hate when people say, oh, you must be afraid of him. Shut up. When people say Conor's afraid of Khabib, Conor ain't afraid of Khabib.
It's not how it works.
Conor's not afraid of anybody. Conor is smart. Conor, doesn't take fights he thinks he's going to lose. But he'll take the Khabib fight again, even though he lost the first one. He would lose again, but you guys aren't afraid, But do you feel better that they put you in there with somebody at your kind of the same level than giving you a big piece of meat, that maybe you didn't want to chew on your first meal in the octagon? You know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean. Yeah, like taking maybe too big of a chunk to chew, so to speak. I'm obviously really psyched that they matched me up with Josh. Like you're saying, Josh, like myself, been on a long journey, similar situation. I know he's a new dad as well. A stand-up guy,
He's got a daughter though, dude. Yeah, he's got a daughter. You're better off. You got sons, dude. His life is fucked.
Got more to worry about, that's for sure.
He's fucked.
Good luck to him. But he seems to be. We're friends on Facebook, and we were shooting the shit a little bit after the fight. And he seems to be on a really good path, and I think he's got a good head on his shoulders and a good camp behind him. But no, I mean, it was definitely. I put a lot of pressure on myself in the sense that my first showing in my debut was pretty lackluster from what I know I'm capable of. Taking the fight on short notice, I could, like I said, give you every excuse under the sun for why it didn't go my way, but they're all just excuses. At the end of the day, I didn't come in where I needed to be, and Chris came in fully prepared, and it was his day to walk away with that W. So, but to get matched up with Josh was it was awesome. It was also, I started to say, I put a lot of pressure on myself because here's this dude, he's got this big record, he's got all this experience. 2-time Contender Series winner, Ultimate Fighter, he's essentially got even more experience doing it than I do.
He does.
And then I'm putting the added pressure on myself of like, come on, man, don't you dare go 0-2 in the UFC. And then they're like, well, you're 35, out of here, Yeah,
because that would suck.
Putting all that pressure on myself as well, and to come away with the win though in such strong fashion, the way that I did, and for both of us to essentially to break a record on top of it for most significant strikes thrown in a heavyweight 3-round fight. I couldn't really ask for a better redemption.
I'm looking at the number of strikes. I'm looking at the number of strikes here, and you threw 275 and landed 164 total strikes. He landed 123 out of 237, so you were talking 507 strikes.
Yeah,
attempted. And then 260,
it was like
287
significant or something like
287 total. I don't even count significant strikes anymore because I don't know what the fuck a significant strike is anymore in the fucking.
Especially at heavyweight, I feel like
anywhere.
If you're not ready for it, a heavyweight could knock you out with their jab.
Yeah, and it's like watching NFL football now. Like, what's a catch?
A catch. That's a catch.
Yeah, but according to some referees, what we see is a catch, not a catch.
You all right over there?
Yeah, it's medicine, you know. I got to take it, you know.
Of course.
They twist my arm about it.
You gotta stay healthy, you know.
Yeah, it's I'm really glad I have a medical marijuana card. I'll tell you though, it does help with a lot of life. But so even on the significance, it says 240.
Yeah.
Like heavyweights don't do that, I mean, which is crazy, and if you break it down by rounds, I mean, the first round, he landed more strikes than you. The second round, you landed a few more. Well, you landed 6 more significant, but you landed like almost 20 total strikes, a lot more. And in the third round, pretty much the same thing. The disparity between significant and total was a little bit more within range of each other, 15 strike difference in your favor. Were you exhausted, man? Because fucking big dudes don't go 3 rounds and throw so many fucking punches.
We were smoked by the end of it, both of us. We left it all in the cage.
Yeah, you did, man. Fucking, it was crazy fun to watch that fight. I enjoyed it. I know you guys enjoyed it. That's the fun thing. I know you guys enjoy doing this. If win or lose, you had to fight. It's part of what you do. Yeah. It's like you're like, yeah, I fucking did it. Me,
That's what I'm here for.
If I get in a fight, I'm crying for 3 days after. Ooh, even if I won, man, I'm not a fighter, man. Fucking so. So you go in there, you have the fight with Josh.
Yep.
Again, a good guy. That was the question we asked. Relatively the same amount of experience. Fight gets booked. You go in there, you do it. You get out, you get that first win. Obviously the first people you talk to are your coaches and your trainers and everybody because they're right there. But what was the first phone call after the fight?
It was obviously to my wife.
Really? Not your folks or nothing?
No, it was to my wife because my mom was here and so were my kids. So everybody was all right here in one spot watching the fight. So, yeah. So that was just dialed her up right away. I think my sister-in-law is the one that actually answered the phone because she was getting the kids squared away and getting them ready for bed and stuff, and then put her on the phone. But yeah, that was number one.
So, what did everybody have to say? What did your folks have to say before we get to what your wife said?
Well, they're obviously beyond proud and so excited and happy for me. I think my mom started crying the minute I walked in the door because she was here helping watch the kids while I was gone. And when I got home, got back from the airport, and I walked in the door, I gave her a hug, and she looked at me, and she's like, and then the tears just started streaming down her face. I was like, I'm all right. I'm okay. Thank you. And she's like, I was just so worried. You did so great. I'm so proud of you. Blah, blah, blah. Really, yeah. Mom's always been my number one fan.
That's awesome, but even that she's crying, you're telling me that again, little tears in my eyes, I get emotional with stuff like this. It's this is my favorite part of talking to fighters is talking about their families and how their families, go along on the grind with them, and on your journey, your folks, your wife, your kids, there's so many people that have been on this journey with you, and for them now to experience the success of a UFC win with you, it's great that your support system gets to do that. I can't say it's like, I have a hard time saying that you all experienced a win because this is an individual sport.
No,
people go to team sport. I'm like, but it's an individual sport. You go in there and fight on your own.
It's funny you say that because I was literally having this conversation with my corners right after the fight. I was saying, thank you to them and thank you guys always for being there for me and, being there to help me train and get better and always pushing me. And they're like, no, man, you did all the work, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, listen, I might be the only one in there throwing the punches and taking the punches and kicks and stuff. But when it comes to the preparation side of things, this is the most team-based individual sport there is out there. Without your team, it's hard to prepare for this kind of stuff.
That's a pretty good assessment of it. It's the most team-based individual sport out there. I like that. Thanks. That's awesome. And all my years of doing this, I've never heard anybody say it that way. So that's kind of cool. And I guess there's some merit to that, but when I hate when guys say, "Oh, I can't fight this guy. We're on the same team. We train together." Fuck that. If you and me are in the UFC, let's say it's you and me, and we're both, we're light heavyweights. I'm bringing you down to my weight class, and actually,
Definitely
in reality, if I got myself in the right shape, I'd probably be, like a 145er. Even though I'm over 200 pounds right now, because my frame is so small. So if I train to do it, but anyway, all right, we'll say we're both heavyweights. You and I are both heavyweights. We both want to, get to the UFC. We both want to be a UFC champion. If I got to beat you up along the way inside the octagon to get to what I want, I don't care if we train together every day. I'm taking the fight and I'm coming to beat your ass. At the end of the day, after, if the fight happened, whatever, if you have, a hard time dealing with it, that's on you, because I won't, because business is business and friendship and all that shit is after, and if we're both aspiring to get to the same goal, I love you as a friend, and, I'm glad that we train together and we learn from each other, but I'm not putting my dreams on hold for anybody. I don't care if it's my best training partner, fuck that. DC always talked about, I wouldn't have fought Kane when he was at heavyweight. Well, that's only because you would have beat Kane and you didn't want to embarrass him. Let's just be real. Even though he always says, "Oh, Kane's better." Kane's not better than DC. DC is so much better than Kane. More durable, better wrestler, better striker. DC was being humble and being nice, but and he'll never say it publicly, but I'm just telling you, I know how it would go down. It's a good thing Kane retired when he did, because he would have had to fight DC at some point. But I'm glad that your family, your friends, I get sidetracked sometimes. Your family, your friends got to, support you.
100%.
Do you feel like that win gave them all back something, like something that they may have sacrificed, along the way, a holiday meal, a baseball game with the kids, a birthday for a family member, Mother's Day, Father's Day, all that stuff.
I think it reassured them that everything that they sacrificed was for that reason. It wasn't a waste. It reassured them that they weren't doing these things for emptiness. It wasn't like there was a genuinely positive purpose behind what they were doing, as opposed to just like, why, I'm sure plenty of times they're, like myself, why am I doing this? Why is this? Why am I doing this? Why am I tolerating this? Why am I putting up with this? Why am I going out of my way for this? And then, seeing things go down the way they did Saturday night, they were like, that's why. That's exactly why. And I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
Do you feel like because you got that win, maybe somebody from like 10, 15 years ago that you owed a few bucks to for helping you out along the way, they got to watch you win, so you don't owe them that money anymore?
Yes.
Hey, listen, Steve, thanks for supporting me all those years, man. I'm glad I was able to get that win and give something back to you, because I'm not giving you any money. Thank you. All right. Hey. Unfortunately, I know that would not be you. There might be some guys that would actually try to get away with that shit, but I think if you owed somebody $10.50 because they bought you a Subway sandwich and a bag of chips and soda, 8 years ago,
make sure
you would go hand them that $12 back. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No matter what happened, and so, but it's funnier the way we just talked about it. So, it's like I sit here, and it's hard for me to fathom that you're here, because there's been so many years since I saw you, and since you've been doing this, and then, I start hearing your name popping around at CES again and all the stuff. And I'm like, this motherfucker going to get to the UFC, and then boom, you get the fucking call to get a UFC fight, and then boom, now your second fight, but now you won. So compare the two experiences. The first fight, short notice, you took it. Just to get to the UFC.
Yep.
You went through a little bit of fight week stuff. This week you went through fight week stuff. Compare the two experiences of those two different fights, because I would have to say there's got to be a world of difference from your debut.
Oh, night and day, man.
To your second fight, and it's crazy. and I never talked to people about that. I've never asked anybody that before, but tell me the difference between Fight 1 UFC versus Fight 2 UFC, and forget the outcome. It had nothing to do with the outcome, just the experience that you went through and the differences. So let it rip, brah. Let it rip.
Even just leading up to it, we'll say, like found out about this fight, 14 weeks before the fight. So I had time for full camp, got myself in shape, got time to do homework on my opponent, study him, game plan, work on things I need to work on to make sure that I'm fully prepared and ready for this guy. I for my first fight, height of the pandemic, 3-week-old baby, not thinking the UFC is going to be calling on me. So I'm just kind of like screwing off and eating whatever I want to eat and not really training in the middle of transitioning to a different gym. 4 weeks prior to getting the call, I switched gyms, not training as frequently, still working out that schedule, walking around at 290 pounds as opposed to walking around at 270 pounds. It's just like, it was so drastically different. I mean, the first time through, I'm focusing on dropping 25 pounds, cutting weight, like sucking weight, making sure I'm just there and ready to, perform as best I can. Whereas this time, I'm not focused on cutting weight at all. I freaking focus on performing, focusing on just hanging out and relaxing and chilling out after I make weight, not like sitting in the sauna for like an hour and a half or 2 hours trying to be like, oh, how much should I sweat out? So that alone in itself, regardless, completely aside from the two actual fights and the differences there, that was just so drastically different, and it was so much more relaxing this time around than it was the first time around. The first time around, all that stuff, and then on top of it, it's my first time in the UFC. Like I got all this new stuff going on. I'm like, what do I do here? What do I do there? Like, what's going on? Not knowing what to expect. Going in the second time, you obviously know what to expect. Whole lot less crap on my plate, whole lot less obligations because now they got all the photos and the media stuff that they needed for the first go around. So it was just a thoroughly more enjoyable experience from the get-go.
That's awesome. How about dealing with the folks from the UFC versus first time versus second time? Did
They're
they
great, man. No,
did they be like, yeah, this is cool. Like, hey, what's up? Good to see you again.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was like. I was like, oh, hey, how's it going, man? I remember Dean's over there running the show, and I was like, dude, hey, how's it going? Good to see you again. My buddy Elliot there, like all of them. They're just like, we're walking in, they all remember me, I remember them. Like, hey, man, what's happening? Blah blah blah. Good to see you. Glad to have you back. Glad to be back. Whereas the first time, it's just kind of like, who are you?
I'm Parker Porter. I'm a fighter here in the UFC.
I'm like, yes. Name's
Who
Don.
are you? It's like, yeah, man. Now they know your name. Put some respect on my name.
Yeah.
Man. So the second fight week experience seems to be a lot better, obviously. Again, you had a little more understanding of what you're doing in the UFC, getting your fight kits and getting anything situated. Although, and I guess for you, both your UFC fights have been in the COVID era. So you haven't really experienced the fight week yet.
Not to the extent that they do it usually, not with all the the big media obligations and like the
wait till all that comes back, bro.
Warm-ups. I'm looking forward to that. That's cool. I can't wait for that.
It's cool, but it's something that a lot of fighters I've spoken to said is so
overwhelming. I'm sure
overwhelming and draining. Yeah. Because now you're on that schedule. I got to go media. I got to do this. I got to have the open workout. If not everybody has to do the open workout. If they ask you, you do it. Obviously, all the publicity you take, you take it.
Right.
But yeah, and there's poster signings. Are they having you guys sign posters now?
Yeah, they're still doing poster signings and stuff, but they're just obviously not as many posters because they're not really throwing them up in restaurants because restaurants are only at like 25% capacity in a lot of places.
Yeah, but
some places are no capacity.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of those signed posters in any restaurant ever.
Yeah.
Even though I wonder where they go. Are they at Dana's house? Are they giving out to
they go
fans?
to the fighters. Fighters get the signed posters.
Did you get the signed poster?
Yeah, I got a copy of each one of them. For my
Oh,
last two fights.
nice. That's fucking awesome.
I don't know if they have extras that they
because
sell on the website and stuff.
How many did you sign?
This last time it was like 80 something.
80?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering
the Stipe Cormier 3 card. It was like 120 or something like that.
Isn't that fucking nuts?
Yeah.
Fucking A, man.
And my hand was cramping. I was like, my signature started out. I was like, yeah, it's good, looks good. By the end of it, it's just like, like just a couple of scribbles.
It's like it could fuck up your fight game. What you need to do is get you a fucking rubber stamp.
Yeah, there you go.
Right?
Boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom.
Boom. Hi, I'm Parker Porter. And then you switch hands. Do some. It's like training.
Yeah.
You're working your hand-eye coordination.
Balance it out.
Double-fisted. I love it, man. So one of my viewers, Forrest Daniels, is watching and I'm going to post this question on there so you can read it.
Sure.
I'm not even going to say anything. I'm going to see where you go with the answer, and then I'll tell you what I was going to say before you answered, after you answered.
Sure.
What inspires you, Parker?
Oh man. Everything. Everything. I mean, I'm obviously inspired by the people that support me and believe in me. But I'm probably most fired up. I don't know if I'd say inspired, but like most motivated for sure. By the people that are like, you can't do that. I'm like,
The haters.
Oh yeah,
the haters.
Got this. It's not even the haters; it's the doubters. Like it's one thing to hate on somebody.
True.
People, but like when somebody's like, no, I doubt it. Like I'll never be able to do that. X, Y, Z. You can't do it. I'm just like, watch me.
Watch me whip. Watch me nay nay. Watch me whip. Yeah, you did. You whipped and you nay nay to get yourself a UFC win. So to all those people that said,
I did.
So to all you people out there that ever said Parker Porter couldn't do it, I'm going to do this for him.
Thank you.
Because it would be inappropriate of him, the UFC star, to do it. But for me, some fucking
classy man. That's
for me, some fucking hack fucking journalist, ring announcer guy. I don't have to stay classy, San Diego. So again, on behalf of Parker Porter, to all of you that said he couldn't get there,
beat it.
There you go. All right, and Parker Porter approves that message. So you've made a little UFC money now.
Yep.
And when I say a little, it's not like you've made a killing. You're at the low end of the UFC pay scale. You know that going in. We all know that. Unless, they gave you a little extra because you took that fight on short notice. Maybe you got a little bit better of a contract than some guys do coming in. But now you got your show money, win money, and then you got your show money the last time. You got some Reebok money, which I think would be like $7,000 is the minute, $3,500 is the minimum,
like
I think.
35, yeah.
Yeah, so 2 fights in, so 75. So, is there something that you're going to do with that money? And again, I know there's more fights coming and more money coming as long as you keep winning. Yep. But is there something you're going to do with a little bit of that money that you've always wanted to do for yourself, or for your mom or for your wife, or is there a little something special you got planned? And I don't mean like dump all the whole money and go on a fucking crazy trip, and waste all of it.
I get what you're saying. Yeah,
but
so we
a little, or just I want to know the two things. One, something you're going to get for yourself because you've earned it to take a little of that money and buy yourself something, whatever the fuck it is. I don't care if it's I Dream of Jeannie poster from 1968, that you just had to have. Ooh. Whatever it may be. I don't dance like her though, but whatever it be. So I want to know the one thing that you're going to buy for yourself, and then the first thing you're going to buy for somebody else that is special.
Okay, so let's see. So it's kind of all sort of interwoven with each other. There's two things that I'm really like working on. One is my house. I'm doing some renovations on my house to make sure that I got a better place for myself, not only myself to live, but for my kids and my wife to live and grow up in. And two, I've got this this gym that I'm opening up. It's really small right now. I'm just doing private lessons out of there, and I think we're gonna put some of that money towards some better equipment and possibly expanding into a bigger facility and eventually offering classes in the near future instead of just doing private lessons. We'll see how the schedule works out for me as far as still with my own training and everything. But those are really the two biggest things. I don't really have like a one particular thing that I'm like, I'm gonna go blow a bunch of money on this dumb thing that I need so badly that I've been waiting and putting off.
Yeah, but is it something? I mean, something like like a cool watch, PS5, an Xbox, whatever.
No, man.
Is there one of those things out there, or like just like something just a gift to you? Say, you know what, Parker, you earned this money. You got to the UFC. You got to win. You deserve this from you, from a gift from myself to myself. Nothing.
No, I mean
why am I not even fucking surprised that you're so fucking humble that you're not doing that? Fuck.
The gift for me is to be able to just train full time now and not have to work a full time job or a part time job or anything like that, doing construction like I did before, and to just be able to officially label myself a stay at home dad outside of being a UFC fighter.
So you're not going to be doing any other work now, just training and fighting.
Pretty much, and I'm doing private lessons and training other people and stuff, but not a tremendous amount of them.
Look at you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Parker Porter, and he's gone big time on us right now. I don't have to do any other regular job anymore. I'm just going to be a fighter and a trainer.
It's not that I don't.
No,
I want to.
Parker, I'm
sure
totally teasing you, bro. No, I know, dude. I got to tease you a little bit, dude. You're one of the guys I know I can tease and you laugh. You get a little red in the face. We goof off. It's all fun.
Of course.
But I'm glad that you've remained the same cat. Because even back then, a guy that, was making whatever money the XFC or one of the small promotions was paying you, you never had a big head about yourself. Even when you were younger and, you could have been more cocky about it. You weren't, you're always just like, I'm just fighting, it's
never been my style, man.
So I just, I hope that you stay that way. And I based on what we see now, you're 35. I don't think you're going to regress into, being, some young punk going out hitting the strip clubs and, wrecking limos and, getting to fights with old guys at bars, and shit like that. So that's a good thing.
I am the old guy at the bar.
Yeah, it depends on the bar.
True.
Because, I'm sure there's some pubs and bars up in your area where you're still the youngin'.
Yeah. I'm getting there, though.
So at a bar, you might not be the old guy. At a club, you the old motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm the old guy.
You walk in and you're like, what the fuck are they doing?
Who's that guy?
what the fuck am I listening to, man? What happened to music? Trust me, I know. I'm 51.
Definitely,
I know.
I can just imagine because I'm still I'm starting to experience that myself, and I'm just like, what is
That's
this?
awesome. Oh, interesting. I'm going to take a phone call on the air. Hang on a second.
Sure.
Hello.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, what's up, Gary Copeland, UFC referee. I'm on the air right now with K-Star Christopher James, and I just saw you call. I'm talking with Parker Porter, who's in the UFC now. You remember him from our XFC days.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I remember him. So
Definitely remember him, yeah. Yep.
How's it going, Gary?
I don't want to hold you up, brother. I didn't know if you heard about Billy Mojo Horn. He was Rich Franklin's training partner and Roger Bowling's training partner, and a great guy.
yeah, I know who he is. Oh.
And I don't know the circumstances, but I thought, well, I didn't know you were in the middle of the show, but I thought if you had a chance to do a shout out. I mean, Christopher Curtis, everybody knows Mojo. He was a huge
All right.
fighter.
Let me write this down. I'm gonna. We have some sad news. Yeah. Yeah. And we don't know what happened, huh? All right. Well, listen. I took you off speakerphone when you were about to say what you were going to say because I had a feeling it wasn't. So let me give him a shout on the air. Then, and when I'm done with the show, because I got Chris Barnett coming up next, I will call you back when we're done and we'll talk. And I'm live right now, so you know how to catch me. All right, brother. Love you, man. Bye. Well, that's sad news. Somebody from the Midwest fight community, Billy Mojo Horn, passed away. He trained guys like Roger Bowling, Chris Curtis knows who he is. Trained with him, the Franklin brothers, and I never heard Gary shook like I just did, Yeah. And I never take phone calls on the air, but for some reason I felt I should take that call from Gary. So, our hearts go out to Billy Mojo Horn and his people, and when we find out what happened, we'll let you guys know. Say a prayer for him. The fight community is small, and we all love each other. Even the ones that hate each other love each other. That's the best part about this community. You could hate somebody, but if something bad happens to them, you're usually the guy that hates you the most is the first one there knocking on your door to help you. It's kind of crazy in our community, but that's how it works. So, thoughts go out to Billy Mojo Horn. He was definitely he never made it to the UFC or anything, but he trained with so many guys that, we saw, and he was an integral part of them getting to where they got. So the MMA community suffers a loss today, and we don't really know any of the details. Gary's just finding out. So, so just remember him, guys, tonight when you say your prayers, and, eat your vitamins, say your prayers like the Hulkster says, and, say a prayer for Billy Mojo Horn. So we're going to get out of that because I'm going to start crying here in a minute. I don't like hearing about people in the community dying, but I will shout them out because they deserve the recognition, especially guys like Billy who's been around. And, he might not ever get the recognition that he probably should have because he's, been doing this so long, training so many guys back in the day. And there are a lot of people out there who never get recognized that help build this sport and create the foundation. And that always makes me sad that they never got the recognition, they never got the accolades or the financial gain from it, So when you hear about people like that passing, it just fucking blows, man. So I'm going to get some info together and post up a little piece about Billy. So, you, my friend, do you have a trajectory of where you want to go next? I don't see you as a guy that will start calling out, names, but in reality, the way the game is played today, it sometimes makes sense to have names in your mouth ready to speak on, who you want next. So is there somebody, or a group of somebody that you feel should be next for Parker?
No, nothing yet, man. We're just waiting for the next phone call and see what they offer and be ready to go.
I got an idea for you.
What's that?
Are you ready?
I don't know, maybe.
I think John Jones should give you a shot to get that win back. And you should start, humbly and respectfully calling out John Jones for a fight at heavyweight. It'll be his debut fight at heavyweight. You could fight John Jones. Imagine if you were able to derail John Jones at heavyweight. Your third or fourth fight into the octagon, they say, all right, fuck it. John goes, I'm down for it. I fought this guy, beat him up once,
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
That would be wild. That would be wild.
Then the question would be, are you the guy that has staying power, or would you be referred to as Buster Douglas? Because
I think that'd be a crapshoot.
Ooh. But what do you think about that, dude? That's the way to get yourself fucking some hype, man. Start calling out Jones. DM him first and go, listen, John, man, I'm going to talk a little shit, dude. Just don't take it serious. I'm just trying to fucking get a fight, man. Trying to get my name out there. You know what a brother got to do, right? All right. And then publicly be like, man, John Jones beat me up back in the day. I want that win back. I'm coming for you, Jones. You came to my division. I know I'm a new guy in the UFC, but step in and fight me, bro. I'll show you that 16 years ago was luck.
Yeah,
I don't even know how long it was, but it's
like
a while
14.
back.
Yeah, it was back there.
You know what the fucked up part is about what I just said?
What?
You would never be able to pull that game off.
No, I'm just not that fucking guy, man. I don't run my mouth like that.
And none of what I just said would even be bad to say, but I still couldn't even see you doing it. Even
it'd be so forced.
Yeah, it'd be like, Yeah, it'd be like if you were doing it on TV, like beside with me or somebody else, there'd almost have to be somebody standing behind you with the stick going, all right, Parker, say this, say this, say this. Man.
Cue cards up at the camera or something.
Right? Hey, whatever works, man. But have you thought about that in the era in the world we live in today, the era we are, about branding yourself? Because the most successful fighters, and being a successful fighter doesn't just have to do with winning. Obviously, the winning carries a lot of the branding, but you have to have something. So, are you my blue collar guy that's going to come out to the Fabulous Thunderbirds? Ain't that tough enough? Fucking, you know what I mean? I mean,
yeah.
What's the brand? What's the Parker Porter brand that you're trying to, get people to buy into? Because you got to get them to buy into you. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, if I had to pick one thing, it'd probably be like the brand would be respect. Like bringing things back to the earlier days where like fighters respected each other a lot more, and it was a lot less of this hype train that like these guys are just like talking shit that they don't even mean on top of it. Like they're like behind closed doors. They're in public they're like fuck you, fuck that, blah, 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 blah. And then behind closed doors they're like, hey Jim, how's it going?
Yeah, but you know what? It sells fights, puts tickets.
It does.
People. And it makes everybody more money. I have no problem with the hype game. I have a problem when it crosses into somebody's religion. Connor's crossed the line a few times with some people. A couple other fighters have too. If you want to talk shit about a fighter, and if me and you are booked to fight, you can talk all the shit that you want about me, Parker. You can say, man, you're fucking old, you're fat, you're washed up, you were a has-been before you ever even got started. Whatever you wanted to say to me. You fucking, your nose is too big, your ass is too small. I don't give a fuck what you say, because you're talking about me and you're fighting me. So talk shit, dude. Fucking, it makes it interesting, makes it fun, the build up, the hype. It's when you talk about somebody's family or...
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Or the religion. You can't do that.
I guess, yeah. Like in that sense, like I definitely I can agree with you 100%. But like a lot of the times those lines get blurred so much and so frequently lately that it just kind of all lumps together with the bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm pretty sure we talked about this before when we were working stuff and doing stuff with the XFC. A little bit about professional wrestling. You got to be a face or a heel. You got to be a baby face. You got to be a heel, dude. Right. I don't know if the baby face, you're fully a baby face. I mean, just by nature, you're a baby face. But you might have to do like a heel turn, and fucking just go fucking. And just turn
a complete 180.
A complete 180. Turn into a fucking heel and just, be an aggressive asshole without being too much of an asshole. Be a little pushy. Push your narrative down the throats of people. I mean, Colby Covington fucking hates some of the stuff he does. Respect the fuck out of the guy as a fighter in the octagon. You can't deny what he does. But his whole shtick for the last few years has been a full on, heel turn. And he's done it well. I can't see you doing that either though. Like, and I think some of it's scripted. I think he has somebody that writes some stuff for him. He just has to memorize it. And then some of it comes off because it's too perfect of the name calling and the this and that and the flow. I literally think Colby Covington sits in front of a mirror going, all right, and whatever fighter he's picking on, and he has to practice it a couple times before he gets in front of the cameras. And that's okay because it's just another part of honing his skill set, I've met him while he's cornered fighters at events I was doing in South Florida, and he's cornering people. He's so like chill and different, like it's like this guy. Yeah, it's an act, but it really is. It's the same. Like I don't know. We're gonna have to come up with an image for you, a gimmick for you, because we're gonna have to brand you now, especially because you're old, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm old. I'm 51, but in fight years, You're actually, you know what? You're not really old because the heavyweights.
I don't have a lot of miles on me either.
No, you don't have a lot of miles. But at heavyweight, it's a little different.
Yeah. They tend to peak a little later than the smaller guys.
Yeah, and because you're done growing, unless you just eat too much. You're done growing, so you've matured mentally and physically. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe we could just get rid of all this down here and just give you the super porn star mustache and just fucking zoop. My pretty. So since you've been home after now 2 fights in the octagon, has anybody done anything special for you, like at a local restaurant or something? Did they name a sandwich after you yet anywhere?
No, nothing yet.
Because those are good accolades to have.
Yeah,
you might.
I haven't even really left the house yet. I got home yesterday at like 1:00 in the afternoon. Was exhausted because we were so psyched and jacked up from the win that we only slept for like 4 hours that night, and then we caught a red eye back. So I slept for like 8 hours in the last 48, and before getting home, and then like I got home, hugged my family, ate dinner, and I just went face down on the pillow, and it just was dead until this morning, and then I was home taking care of the boys, doing remote learning today, and watching the baby because maternity leave's over. So it's just me and the 3 kids today.
Hey, that's all right, man. You're a stay-at-home dad. You just said it yourself, man.
Yeah.
So you're Mr. Mom.
So I haven't even had a chance to potentially go see if anybody's done anything like that.
Well, I don't just mean like, from this fight, but just, you made it to the UFC, and you're in the same town. You've been in it for a long time, so everybody knows, that knows you. Is there some place you think that will do that? Like, since you've been back, from the first fight, somebody buy you lunch, go, hey, don't worry about it, man. You're in the UFC, the people around town, come up. Hey, let me get a picture with Parker, hey.
I actually got stopped at the airport. Somebody recognized me, even with my mask on and stuff.
That's fucking dope, bro.
I don't know how he could have done it. I was only wearing like literally everything said UFC on it. I wasn't wearing anything that didn't say it, even down to my underwear. But yeah, I got stopped at the airport. I got a friend that was like, I owe you a tomahawk steak. And I didn't even make a deal with him about that. He was just like, I'm buying you a tomahawk steak. I'm like,
I'm eating a tomahawk steak.
I'm eating a freaking tomahawk steak then. Yeah.
Oh, you should cash in on that soon, right?
I will.
Yeah. Before you get back into a fight camp, cash in on that and just let that red meat course through your veins, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting excited now. Babe, I want steak. My wife makes the best fucking filet mignon. Fucking
I grill a good steak myself.
She does them cast iron skillet in the house.
Nice.
You can't touch my wife's steaks, dude. Like fucking, she's money, and I'm not just saying that because she might be in the other room, of the house listening. I'm saying it because it's true. I post pictures whenever she makes steak. I don't post a lot of food porn unless we're out at a restaurant trying something crazy. Yep. But I'll always post a picture of her steak. I'll be like, yeah, steak, motherfucker, steak.
Yeah.
Dude, are you getting tired, man?
I am tired,
dude. 3 kids, wear you that fuck out. Yeah, all right, man.
Yeah.
All right, so there's nobody in particular you want to call out. We all know you're grateful. It's great to see you smiling. Great to see the success coming your way now, dude, because you've definitely earned that shot. Before I let you go, though, Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr., your thoughts if you saw any of it, if you saw the highlights. Nate Robinson memes are fucking incredible.
I've been seeing the Nate Robinson memes everywhere.
They're all over my page. I put up a post with it
from the Jones Tyson fight, but
I put up a compilation post with all the Nate Robinson memes I had seen like the next day, and that thing's been shared like 180 times or something. I can't get people to share my fucking live videos when I'm talking to UFC fighters, but they'll share these memes with this guy at the worst moment of his life.
Oh,
we suck as people, but fuck it.
Yeah, it's unfortunately the state we live in.
Yeah, man. Yep. My favorite one was the one of him laying down and goes, "Don't worry about him. He just cosplaying. He's Apollo Creed from Rocky IV." And the picture above is Apollo laid out and Nate's laid out the same way, the same arm off to the side. And I'm just like, oh my God, that's so harsh. But it's funny. And funny is funny. And I respect Nate for going in there and boxing. Because that takes balls. He's an athlete, but he's not a fighter.
No,
he lost to a YouTuber.
You don't play fighting.
Yeah, and he lost to a YouTuber who's playing fighting. So, I mean, what the fuck? But Logan, both Paul guys are taking it seriously. They've been training hard and working with some actual really good people. So who knows? But I got to say, it pains me to say that guy brings more eyes to boxing than boxers do.
Yeah. No, that's people have been talking about that more than they've been even talking about the Jones Tyson results.
Yeah, and that's sad. So you didn't see just some highlights and everything. But what do you think, man? It's good that these guys went out there and
I
fight.
think it's
fuck
great,
it, right?
man. I mean, yeah, it's one of those things. Those being a fighter, like I can't imagine what it's like to have to step away from the game. And to get the opportunity to kind of like relive your glory days. I'm sure they're not the only ones that have ever desired that. And they got the opportunity to kind of do that.
Especially at the level they ascertained in life. I mean,
that's what I mean. Like I'm not even close to their level yet, and
you can't imagine not having this.
Exactly. I can't imagine not having it at the level that I'm currently at. Never mind at the level that they were at.
That's fucking nuts. I never even thought about again. You brought a couple of nice perspectives to the show, man. Fucking, I like the most the most team based individual sport. That's fucking money right there. And now that, so yeah, I think you've left us many words of wisdom to ponder.
Food for thought.
See that, guys? He's a big old heavyweight. He's not dumb just because he gets hit in the head.
Wait, what?
Dude, man, I could literally sit here and talk to you for hours and hours and hours, dude. Because again, it's more than just an interview for me. It's a conversation. And that's how I treat all the interviews I ever do, even with people that are like ranking members of promotions or respected this. I just try to have conversation with people, and wherever they go, they go. With guys that I've had experience with, announcing them in fights. I just, it's two dudes that know each other, and fucking.
It's even easier.
And it's on camera, so we're fucking, we just goof, We won't tell you the stories about, being in an XFC hotel and guys running around wearing dresses because nobody needs to know about that. Oh, did I say, was this thing on? No. But listen, guys, this is my dude, Parker Porter, right here. He's 1-0 in the UFC right now.
No, you froze.
Or 1-1. 1-1. I said 1-0. Oh, you did freeze. Yeah, wow, what happened there? That's weird. But anyway, so he's 1-1 in the UFC, man. He trains up north, man, and he's a good dude. So if you're not following him, you can follow him on Facebook, Parker Porter. Parker, what's your other social media?
You there?
Oh, he did. Yeah, I'm here. Okay. What's your other social media? I mean, your face is frozen, but we can still hear you.
Oh, all right, yeah. But I missed the last 10 seconds of what you were saying.
Oh, give us all your social media before you go.
Oh, I'm on Instagram, Parker Porter MMA. What's my Twitter handle is let's find out. What is my Twitter handle?
We should have a contest.
It's Parker_Porter. And then I got an athlete page on Facebook, Parker Porter.
Oh, there you are. You're back, man. You're back. Yep. All right, cool. It would have been shitty to have to say goodbye.
Did you get the Twitter?
Yeah. Parker_Porter. We got that. Yeah, we got you. All right. Well, listen, brother, you go get yourself a nappy time because I know the kids beat you up today and wore you out. Probably worse than any fight camp you're ever going to go through.
They did. I'm actually just about to go.
Yeah.
Put them in bed myself, actually. They tried to pop their heads in. I was like, I'll be right there.
Well, listen, man, thank you for taking the time, man. I'm so glad for you, dude. Like, in my heart right here, I'm just happy for you, man. I can't wait to see your next fight. When you get a fight, next time when you get the next fight announcement or next matchup, before it goes public, message me. Let me know. I want to break some news, Parker Porter news. I'm going to break it. So
I'll do whatever I can, man.
All right, yeah. Just tell your manager, hey, don't announce it yet. I got to call Chris, and then just shoot me up. Listen, brother, you have a wonderful night, man. God bless you and your family, man. I hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And
man, you too.
I'm starting to campaign. I'm going to start hitting up restaurants in your area. I'm going to be like, hey, you need to name a sandwich after Parker Porter, man. Fucking get it done. We're going to get you a sandwich.
There you go.
All right, brother. Be good, man.
There's
Stay well. And lots of meat on that Parker Porter sandwich, man. Don't be giving it all vegetables, motherfucker. It's a heavyweight. We don't need no tofu, motherfuckers. We need some fucking roast beef, turkey, fucking pastrami, salami, corned beef, ham, slice of cheese. All right, there we go.
Just one.
Just one slice of cheese and one little dab of mustard or mayo, your choice. But listen, man, you enjoy the night, man. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the victory. God knows you've earned it, man. And we can't wait to hear and continue to follow your career, man. Thanks so much, Parker Porter. We'll talk to you soon, brother.
Appreciate it, man. Take care.
All right, brother. Bye-bye. All right, guys and girls, that was Parker Porter, man. I'm waiting for Chris Barnett. Luckily, me and Parker Porter can talk for a while because Chris Barnett was supposed to join us at 8:30, and he messaged me at 8:07 saying he's just stuck in traffic like 30 to 45 minutes from the house. So I messaged him and told him, hey, hurry up. Let me know how long away you are. So we're going to stick around for a couple more minutes, and hopefully he'll get here soon. So for you guys, Seth Hanna, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that you enjoy my interviews. I try to just make it fun, conversations, that's what it's all about. So if you guys want to talk about anything else, we got Fight Week coming up this week. Let me pull that card up. All right. Yeah, it's funny. I'm sitting there, Parker Porter, on MMA Junkie. I haven't read MMA Junkie today. Ranks his first win up there with the wedding and the birth of his kids, which is what I would expect him to say. But where is it? All right, so UFC on ESPN 19 this weekend. Jack Hermanson and Marvin Vittori are doing that fight. Jamal Hill, and Oven St. Preux, Merab Davishvili against the TBA. They haven't announced it yet. Montana De La Rosa, Talia Santos, John Allen, Roman Dalids, Mavsar Evloev, Nate Landwehr, Nate the Train, another XFC guy coming up. Jake Collier, Gian Vellante, Jordan Leavitt, Matt Wyman, Cody Durden, and Jimmy Flick. That should be a fucking fun fight. Damon Jackson and Ilya Taporia. Gabriel Benitez and Justin James, another dude I love. Jose Quinones versus Louis Smolka. Good fights coming up. So we'll go into those later on in the week. We might do a pick'em show this week. Haven't decided. Kayla Harrison fought at Invicta. She's a PFL fighter. She went out there and demolished a girl. Just beat her bloody. Now she's issued an open challenge for a Titan FC event on December 18th. I'm glad PFL is letting her fight. She's probably going to fight somebody that, is she wants a catch weight at 150. So I don't know. I don't know who she's going to fight. There's not any big girls out there in that weight class. I mean, there really isn't, there's not fights for her to get out there. So it's tough. I don't know how they even match her up in PFL because she's a big girl. She fights at 155. That's big for the ladies divisions. She dropped to 145 to take the fight in Invicta, but she wants to do a catch weight at 150. And she trains with Amanda Nunes, and people are talking about those two going to fight. I guess they both said if they have to fight each other one day down the road in the UFC, they will. I don't think it's a fight they're looking forward to, but I'm all for. Like I said, I don't care if they train together every fucking day. If they both want to be a UFC champion, well, then they have to fight each other because, especially in that division at 145. I mean, there is nobody. I mean, Amanda Nunes is going to fight Megan Anderson sometime in 2021. Why? Megan Anderson is not going to beat her. I guess she could have her Buster Douglas moment and, do the unthinkable. We've seen stuff like that happen in the fight game, but I just don't think that at this time that she's the right, she's the one that's going to have that Buster Douglas moment against Amanda Nunes. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do here with Kayla Harrison. But like I said, I'm glad PFL is letting her go out there and get some fights. It's not about the money. I don't think she's worried about the money. She's not making big cheddar to fight at Titan, and she's not making big cheddar to fight at Invicta. However, she won the $1 million tournament last year. So between the $1 million tournament, and the money she made during the tournament, she'd probably, bank $2 million because, she probably had some sponsor money come through and this and that and the other, so the $1 million paycheck plus, you get paid for the fights along the way. It totals, somewhere around 1.3 million if you run the gamut and go through the whole tournament and win it. Then again, like I said, sponsor money, stipend, they get paid for it. So she probably netted around $2 million last year. So she's not fighting right now to make money. She's fighting because she wants to fight, which makes it scary. Don't get me wrong. She wants to make some money, but she knows she's not going to make big money at Invicta, and she knows she's not going to make big money at Titan. It's not about the money for those fights. It's about continuing to hone her skills and grow as a mixed martial artist. Which, how do you knock her for that? She's definitely fucking badass, man. I watched her the other night, that Invicta fight, man. I was sitting watching it on Fight Pass, and I'm like, I'm wanting to throw in the towel myself for that girl, man. I mean, that girl was getting fucking beat bloody. It was not pretty. I'm a little sad also that Chimaev and Edwards are going to be pushed back to January. I've really been looking forward to that fight. I think Chimaev is going to destroy Edwards. I just think I'm getting on the train with the guy from the first time I saw him. There's something about him. I agree with Dana White about his assessment that this guy's that special athlete. He's got the fight game, fucking could beat you anywhere. He's not afraid of anyone, anytime, any place. He's got a personality that will sell. Promoter's dream. And he's in the octagon. We'll see how it all plays out for him. I'm sure he's not happy because, he wanted this fight right away. But, so that's what we do. Let's see. Gonna message back Chris again. Yeah, guys, you're watching Cage Out. Christopher James. We just got done talking about Parker Porter. UFC heavyweight, now 1-1. He got a big win against Josh Parisian last week at the Apex in Vegas in his second octagon appearance. Happy for him. I've known him a long time. So, no word back from Chris. Oh, excuse me. So we might have to cut this off here and, bring him in later on in the week. Although I don't know how much time we're going to have to get him again. But maybe Thursday night if he doesn't make it tonight. So we shall see. I'm going to give him like 2 more minutes. And then I'm going to dip on out of here. If there's anything you guys want to talk about or ask me, and feel free to drop a question on me right now. Other than that, we're going to dip out of here in about 1 minute and 60 seconds. That's right. That means 2 minutes. By the way, it's cold here in Florida. It's about, I don't know. It's probably about 41 right now. It's going to get down to about 33 tonight. Let me tell you the weather right now. Oh, it's 41 degrees right now outside of my house. That's cold for us, man. That's cold for us here in Tampa. But, that's the way it works. So, not going to be happy tomorrow when I got to get up and go to the chiropractor. Oh, it's going to be freezing when I have to get up and go. That's going to suck. All right, boys and girls. Well, anyway, we are going to go ahead and jump on out of here. I didn't have anything else. What fight in December am I looking forward to the most? It just got canceled. Chimaev versus Edwards. That was the fight I was looking forward to the most this month. Jeff Neal against Wonderboy Thompson is up there as well. Davison, the champ, Figueiredo versus, Brandon Moreno. That fight is also one I'm looking forward to. Off the top of my head, those are the ones that came to mind. But Chimaev versus Edwards was the one I was looking forward to the most. Don't forget, I'll be in Pensacola this weekend for Island Fight 65, December 5th, Saturday night. Haji Shrine, I believe we're at. And I think we got like 18 fights. It's a huge amateur card for us. And excited to get back in the Island Fights ring and do that thing, baby. So I will see you guys in Pensacola. I might be back on here Thursday night with a few interviews. I'm going to try to track down Chris Barnett and get him on for Thursday. Obviously he got stuck in traffic. So we're just going to have to, hope he made it home safely. And I'll catch up with him, and then we'll reschedule him. Also, Sasha Palatnikov was supposed to join us tonight, but his regular daytime job prevented that from happening. No big deal. We'll get him on again too. Maybe Thursday night. We'll flip around Tatum's day or night. We know we'll figure it out. But guys and girls, thanks for taking the time to join us here tonight at Cage Side with Christopher James. Thank you for letting me be a part of your lives today and for you guys being a part of mine. I will never truly be able to put into words what that actually means, but just know it's right here with me. So thanks again for tuning in. Until next time, boys and girls, I am Christopher James. You've been watching Cage Side with Christopher James. Good night.
What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell is Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuits. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff.
Philip the Deuces. There you go, baby.